Welcome to Melodies TV, Ghana's #1 social platform.
Me mo bi akwaba eba Melodies TV so. Se uyo bi a wotai ehwe enyama ekoso wo social media. Obehu ne se ende ene endra ana meka ne se endra ene ende. Eyepo adomotre a wo ye journalist ye nia yenim no wo Metro TV Good Evening Ghana. Wone Aseidu Nketia bomudin a trendy ye. Ebia na wo nim de ntia mebo audio ama na we hu de ntia bomudin e trendy. Eya semben. Somewhere around last week, what happened? And they say Poadomotre ebeye analysis. Now analysis na wo ye on the possible pairing of NDC, Nkrophobia or no Poadomotre susu say sisiano on the next election, NDC for next election, no, the possible people. Emma, a lot of, I mean, or Mahama, now I way, now I Gusitano, now I say, or ma what the Aseidu Nketia crab account as running mates. Now, no, and ya Aseidu Nketia de. Because aside that, no, Embrana ye baba to aba before NDC4, before I ever to aba NDC4. One more ebe babontin with their running mates no. For adomotre esanso be ye analysis. Na eho ye bo Aseidu Nketia din e na po adomotre ka se dabi. Aseidu Nketia there is no way I will be to me ababe than running mates. Na wasanso ye new one after elections a wode Aseidu Nketia aka ho no. E na Aseidu Nketia wo call Asempa FM. E na ebisa na Aseidu Nketia ka se wono de wonim po adomotre no nim se po adomotre no e agenda no ye. Onim se po adomotre eye MPP ni na ya hyeda e na ya bo po adomotre pa se wonbra na wonfa NDC for ni ti embra mbebom enti so waka se o Aseidu Nketia ye be choose na as running mate na asanso ya foforo se ebia ofuso ampofo ye be choose na as running mate na tre se Aseidu Nketia ni ofuso ampofo no omutrim no ayo se e wo se nwubon se na afi no wo mo sha se wo mo tan wo mo ho ba. Because obi ehun ne say well it is possible so obi to me di running mate obi anso person odi running mate no inti eno na Aseidu Nketia kan say de po adomotre ye no e lotto forecasting e ya de a entwa ye e very diabolic thing na po adomotre ye now last week Aseidu Nketia kan say asem no po adomotre e reply Aseidu Nketia Emma po adomotre kra beka se wo no de Aseidu Nketia ye ne wofa na woni Aseidu Nketia kra no na Aseidu Nketia ne neighbor na ne fie ni a Aseidu Nketia fie ni no mu hia wa bonten e kasa ne nyama bebre nti ono de enya ade a wo beka Aseidu Nketia asem bia na o tretensem mu keke na won ka bibia ntra Aseidu Nketia nti wo ma eye response right then Emma waka se de Aseidu Nketia ka se eye lotto no. Well, or no a journalist into a can adjoin. You better say Endra for adomotre a special editorial. Now, for would you go Aseidu Nketia so it's here for and somewhere every po adomotre enum what to ama Aseidu Nketia easy. Just say, was it Nancy Wube who na Aseidu Nketia namha, no one namha, no namha, nini nano a new war election petition wo ko gu ni hu animu ase no. Aseidu Nketia nim se wo ye koma Ghana for beka se ane e na Aseidu Nketia e no man NDC for elusu ye petition ni ntino wa sheda na onam na waka etie for ye se nsuo to na ehwewa o se ehwe o men ka se prapra wo ho se ne apo adomotre de gu Aseidu Nketia so na enye bini na afi nkrofo kan se hey po adomotre we yusu hammer e na tese wo de ekum mosquito sledgehammer ena wodi chese wodi yenkonko tie nsem ni bia wokan ye wobete nsem a yenko tie mra
noises or to douse the other legitimate noises. So we go straight into the show. We'll show you some videos today to explain to you why. Johnson Aseidu Nketia is filibustering all over the place because he knows that there is enormous pressure on him. And that pressure is beginning to build up on him. And that's why he's filibustering all over the place. Here is a guy who has been General Secretary of the NDC since 2005. Here is the guy who led the NDC to the 2012 election. Here is Johnson Aseidu Nketia, the former member of parliament, the so-called seasoned politician who has led the NDC to 2 electoral defeats heavy defeat and very, very embarrassing defeat. 2016's defeat and 2020's defeat. We'll focus on 2020's defeat. Johnson Aseidu Nketia feels that he's going to be responsible to answer questions about what has happened at the polls, about what happened in court. And that's the reason why he's talking all over the place. That's the reason why he's filibustering. That's the reason why he's talking about people. He's talking about everybody, about some of his members of parliament, about some people in his party, about journalists. That's the reason. We're going to expose him tonight because he must stand up to his responsibility. And you see, we don't want to build a Ghana with people like that leading the political parties. Johnson Aseidu Nketia went to court and was clutching at straw. That's what he was doing. He went to court and was clutching at straw, totally embarrassed himself, completely embarrassed his party, and he comes out of court, he's looking over his shoulder, he's thinking, who has noticed that I embarrassed the NDC? He's thinking, who has noticed that I failed in my leadership role? He's thinking, did people notice that I may have failed in my leadership role? When he asks himself these questions, he takes solace in appearing on radio stations and talking about other people. He takes solace in appearing on television stations and talking about other people. Today, he's come to his cul-de-sac. This is Aseidu Nketia's cul-de-sac. Now, let's begin and show you the various things that have happened. At the election, at the polls, Johnson Aseidu Nketia made a mountain out of the Electoral Commission's position. He talked about the bias electoral commission, this and that, IPAC, this and that. He made a lot of noise about that. Apparently, hopefully preparing people in case he's not able to lead the party to a victory, there'll be a reason. The reason will be the electoral commission. Okay, elections are conducted on the 7th of December. He and some members of his party's leadership announced that the NDC are expecting a victory. He actually does announce to the NDC supporters that they're expecting a victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, our collation so far indicate that our presidential candidate, President John Dramani Mahama, is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission will very soon come out to declare him the next president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
This is where the myth surrounding Aseidu Nketia is breaking down. When he announces to NDC supporters that they have won the election, and then the election results are announced and NDC supporters don't win the presidential election. They don't win the parliamentary election. And Johnson Aseidu Nketia now elects himself to go to court. Now, we will tell you why he elected to be in that position in court, to be the star witness of the petition. I will tell you why. The reason he did that was because he was looking at the earlier petition and he was hoping that he will be able to replicate the stardom of Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, which was obvious in Ghana after the election petition of 2013. The stardom of Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia was very obvious in Ghana when Dr. Bawumia appeared in the witness box as the star witness of the then petitioners and presented a scholarly account. Now that's where I'm going to. A scholarly and sophisticated account of the MPP's analysis of the election. Everyone in Ghana applauded Dr. Bawumia for that. Now, there are some politicians that we have to be careful about. Now, there are these politicians who don't actually build anything, but they like to take advantage of things. We need to be careful about those politicians. They don't build anything. They'll be there for 40 years, they won't build anything. They'll be party general secretary for 100 years, they won't build anything. They'll be party general secretary for 200 years, they won't build anything. But they like to take advantage of things. That's the kind of kettle we are dealing with. It's a candidate who likes to take advantage of things and likes to take advantage of things to project themselves. Those are the kinds of politicians we should be very, very careful about. Very, very careful in the future and now about politicians who build nothing and they just derail, they take away, and in the process they project themselves and take advantage of things. The reason why Johnson Aseidu Nketia went to court as a star witness is that he thought he would be able to take advantage of what happened in 2013 when Dr. Bawumia was a star witness and became a national hero. That's what he was looking for. But let's see what happened in court. Let's first go back to the court, and after the court, I'll explain to you what has happened. Let's go back to the court and see some of the interactions that occurred in court. You will see that Aseidu Nketia was clutching at straw. When we're in law faculty, what they used to tell us when people are clutching at straw in court is that they are talking palm wine talk. They go to court and he talk palm wine talk in court. That when you are clutching at straw in court, as Aseidu Nketia was indeed clutching at straw, How they say it and the way they told us in the faculty is that that's palm wine talk. He went to court to talk palm wine talk. Let's see the first file. Johnson Aseidu Nketia in court. Let's see.
I'm saying, as a matter of fact, that you, the General Secretary, who was directing and coordinating the presidential elections, you have not produced a single piece of independent evidence supporting your claim that neither party won the elections. Simple question.
My Lord, I need to understand what independent means.
All the documents that the EC was using to, collate the results from the polling station right up to the regional center, you had carbon copies of them, don't you?
Yes, we do.
And I'm saying that you have not put together your carbon copies to show that indeed nobody won the elections.
Yes, my Lord, because that is not the purpose of our petition.
So you say what is not the purpose?
I'm saying that we did not come to court to come and take over the work of electoral commission.
I'm saying that you have not provided any basis of your own for your call for a runoff.
But no, my Lord, we haven't brought that data here. We didn't consider it necessary to our case to bring any such data here.
You see, do you know why you haven't got any such document? It is because all the documents you have, all the authentic documents on the election that you have, show that the second respondent had won the election, so you can't bring it out.
So you saw that. I'm not yet done with the court process, but you saw that. Clutching at straw, what some people call palm wine talk in court. Johnson Aseidu Nketia. Let's go back to court and see it again. Let's see another part of the court. Now, this is the part of the court where Aseidu Nketia was confronted with his responsibility under the NDC Constitution. He has a responsibility as the General Secretary of the party under the NDC Constitution. As far as elections are concerned, the General Secretary of the party is the leader of the party. The General Secretary of the party is the general of the party. The General Secretary of the party is the one who is leading everybody in the war, as they call it, quote and unquote, in the war of election, to seize power from the other side. That's the General Secretary of a party. He is the general. He is the field marshal. He's leading people to war. And when you are leading people to war in an election, your arsenal is clear. That particular arsenal, the most important arsenal, Aseidu Nketia faltered in that. That arsenal is clear. The most important arsenal, Aseidu Nketia faltered in that. And that is why he's filibustering. He was, as they say, if I can borrow, he was talking palm wine talk. Have a look.
So can you tell the court that is 6,730,413 as a percentage of 13,121,100